What's up, guys? In this video, I'm going to talk about why you should get started before you know what you're doing. Um, I tried to get into online marketing or to make side money via the internet, passive income. I got all caught up in a lot of those hype videos on YouTube, and I tried out a lot of different things, and I spent a lot of money and lost a lot of money on different projects that didn't pan out. And I don't think it was a complete waste because there was a lot that I learned. But moving forward from here, I figured I wanted to sum up everything that I've kind of learned up to this point, just for my sake, but also maybe someone out there can find some value from it. I have videos on it, but essentially I hated my job. And it was a fine job. I just didn't feel very fulfilled in it. And I was in a position, I'm living in a basement apartment. I'm not paying a lot in rent. My expenses are very low. I was able to quit that job and go to work part-time to free up some time to try out some of these avenues. Now, I wanted to just do something that would make me money as quick as possible. So I just found something which was blogging, and I have a video on it, but it didn't really work out and I wasted some money on it. I learned some cool skills, but it honestly, at the end of the day, it was kind of a waste of time as far as like monetary reasons go. And I can live mostly off of part-time, but I needed some income to come in. And I noticed something that was really important with a lot of these guys. They on the internet, they focus on big money, $100,000 a month, $10,000 a week, and they throw out these huge numbers. And it's like, even at my full-time job, I was barely making $3,000 a month. So if they're claiming $10,000 a week, why would it be so hard for me to make just a few $1,000s a month, or even like $1,000 a month? Because I can live off of around $1,000 a month, especially if I have another $1,000 coming in from a part-time job. And if I could get a couple $1,000s in a month, then I could dedicate all of my time to this and grow whatever ends up working or trying out different platforms. But it seems like everything was requiring lots of startup, lots of time, and it had the benefits of tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars, which I think is just a selling point. But nothing was really working. But I was trying and I was learning things, and it's almost a form of networking where you start to find these personalities and you start to hear what they have to say and their philosophies on things, and you can kind of start to tell, where the BS is coming from and what the truths are. And you learn the marketing tactics. So you learn what are the marketing tactics that they're using, and you can kind of minus that from their message, and you can be left with some truths there. But I found that no matter how much you sit there and read and learn and go through courses, you don't really learn any skills until you actually do it, because the internet changes so fast. So like even the blogging course that I took and I spent a lot of time on, when I went to go sit down and do it, it was pretty different than how it was when he recorded the video. But it was close enough that I could figure it out, and I could Google like how to do this in 2024 or whatever. But you have to put in the work, and putting in the work and taking the time to sit down and do it and not just watch it leads you to finding other people that are also doing it, and you learn new ways to make money. So for example, the guy Miles Beckler that I learned blogging through, I ended up on his email list, and he sent out an email about the Amazon influencer program. And the Amazon influencer program was where I made my first money on the internet, and it happened within like a few weeks of me buying the course. So I had spent months and months. I'd honestly spent years researching it, but when I started, I spent months trying to get this blog going and hours building a website. And then I randomly get this email for a $200 course, and I made $1 within, not that much time and not that much effort either. I didn't have to build my own platform. I just had to record videos. And they were lower quality than this. I just sat down, no script, to record this video, and that's how I do most of these other ones for Amazon Influencer. If you don't know what that is, you can look it up. But basically, you make reviews on products on Amazon, and they just upload them and pay you a commission. Now, it did take some legwork up front, but it was very low compared to like starting an entire website or even starting a whole YouTube channel. So I guess like if you just start, you're probably going to lose money and time. There's ways to get around it without spending money, but I'm kind of an impulse buyer. So when I see cool courses, I just want to buy them and see what they're about, whether it's for the information or just picking apart how they structured things or how they sold it. But the Amazon influencer program was kind of a turning point. It made me realize like you can make money pretty instantly with that. And, coupling that with the part-time job, it frees up a lot of space for me to try other things. So now I have goals that I've set with the Amazon influencer program. I want to hit 1,000 videos by the end of the year. And, it's the day after Christmas right now. And I'm at about 655. So I'm kind of slowing that down. I have to do a little push before the end of the year. It'll probably stretch into the mid-January. But now I'm kind of doing a push on YouTube where I found a strategy and I'm just going to follow it. And, even if YouTube only gives me $50 a month, if Amazon's given me a couple hundred and I get YouTube to get me 50 and eventually build it up to a couple hundred, and both of those keep scaling together, and then I go to a third one, all of that could eventually pull together. And I already found a third one. I found a guy, he has a pretty, I think he only has like 30,000 subscribers on YouTube, but he makes Amazon coloring books. And he has a whole strategy and a whole YouTube channel documenting his journey. So you just start from the beginning and copy him, and he's to the point now, if a handful of years in, he's making $3,000 a month. And that's great. If I can get mine pretty quick up to a couple hundred and just add it to the pool and have everything keep scaling together, it seems like a more reasonable lifestyle that still has the same end goal where I get to spend full time creating content and working for myself, but I'm not having to put all my eggs in one basket or scale something to be huge. I'm able to experiment with different things and kind of focus for short periods of time, and then re-spark my interest in something new. And the goal here is to have things that after you put in the work, they continue to have returns later. So like this wouldn't work if you went out and pressure washed 10 driveways. Those driveways only pay you when you pressure wash them once. But if you go out and make 10 videos, potentially some of those videos could pay you for the rest of your life. Now, I think that doing things like pressure washing or having a part-time job or picking up odd jobs is a great way to kind of supplement because it takes time. It does take time to build up some of this stuff. And it takes time, for the checks to come in. And, after Amazon, you have to wait a month after, if you make $100 in April, you have to wait till the end of May before they pay you out to make sure no one returns any of it. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I learned this from Miles Beckler as well, and his mentor is Kevin Hodo, I think is how you say his name, or Hutto. And they call it digital oil wells. And basically you have all these little businesses that equal enough to pay your expenses. And I think that's a great strategy. And I don't know why it's not more popular. People always think I'm going to start a drop shipping site and it's going to make me $100 million a year. And while that would be great, I think it's more realistic to try and get $50 a month or $100 a month. And then if you see promise, try and scale it. And then scale it to the point as far as you can, but then, pivot into something else and have different avenues and try and keep it passive so you can kind of keep your brain active. Now, I don't know if this is the right way or if this is even an effective way, but I've seen a couple people now who sort of have this strategy. And to me, it seems really fun and really fulfilling to have all these different things. I've even seen Miles Beckler in his video talking about this, where they talk about the oil wells. He talks about having a booth at like a farmer's market. And I used to sell things in a boutique. So I was like, oh, like if I went back to doing that, that would just be one more thing to add, potentially a few $100 a month into the pool. And it would be really cool to get to a point where you have excess past your living expenses to where you could invest it into things like real estate. And then, now you can have the money work for you twice. So instead of just getting it from YouTube and then paying your bills with it, if you get enough from YouTube and Amazon influencer, and from an Etsy shop and from a farmer's market or whatever, and then put that into, say, a rental property. And then now the rental property is growing in value and giving you rent money. And then that's what you pay your bills with. That to me seems like a sustainable method. And, obviously I'm really early in all of this, but it's good to have a plan. And this seems to me like a better plan than just trying to say I'm going to get big on YouTube. So anyway, I was just looking at my analytics today. I'm about to hit 300 subscribers. I've had 460 videos. Most of those are shorts. I'm just now starting with long form and experimenting with that. And, I feel really grateful that this many people are interested in what I have to say. And, there's a lot of hate comments, but I honestly kind of have fun with them. I think it's fun to argue, and it gives you insight on what people want to see and kind of calls you out for being cringy. And, a lot of my videos, I'm still learning how to be authentic on here, but also go with the strategies of, keeping audience retention. You kind of have to find that balance. So bear with me as I try to find the balance between that. This one is more of just me talking. It wasn't scripted, and I'm not trying to use any template for, a video script to keep you engaged. So not that many people are going to make it this far into it, but I just felt, I just had the urge to sit down and make a video today to kind of explain my thoughts on where I'm at with everything. Um, I think the biggest things were to sit down and cut all my expenses to get them as low as possible. I started selling off things to kind of get some extra money coming in. Getting a part-time job was huge. I mean, it's guaranteed income essentially, but you over half your time is still freed up. And then finding an avenue that you can get money quickly. Now that could be YouTube if you're good at that and you know a strategy to get monetized fast. Amazon influencer was it for me. And then, I have a list now of things that I'm going to try next. This YouTube channel being one of them. But I'm going to kind of double dip and try to document all these processes. So even if, making Amazon coloring books doesn't work for me, I'll at least get a good YouTube video from it that might make me a couple dollars. But I think it's important to not get caught up in the marketing ploy of making tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars or tens of millions of dollars, and just really look at how much do you really need to have your freedom. And then from there, how do you scale that to be able to, scale your lifestyle and really have success and a career in this type of thing. Again, I'm brand new in this. To date, I've only made $1,300, and I've probably spent more than that trying to figure out how to do that. So I take it all with a grain of salt, but that's sort of my plan and mentality moving forward. Thanks everyone. 200, what was it? 278 subscribers, almost 280 here soon. So thanks everyone for subscribing and for following, my hobbies with rebuilding the amps and selling the guitars and the Facebook Marketplace journey. And now I'm going to start talking about Amazon influencer and maybe even some of the YouTube strategies that I'm trying. So comment below if there's anything you want to see, or if there's anything you don't like. The hate comments I think are great. A little social course correction never hurt anyone. Some good bullying there. So, but yeah, thanks. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already.